Hello and welcome everyone. Stretch Goals is now live on the Division 2. This is the third season that this has been a thing. They've changed the name this time though. They've changed a little bit about how this works as well. So I thought I'd do a video today just to announce the event and explain it in full to you. And like the title suggests, the Lexington has returned. You can farm the Lexington right now if you want it, and among a load of other items. So let's get into this. So this is this current seasonal pass menu, and this is exactly what Stretch Goals is. They've changed the name now to Rank Up. You've got 2 weeks to work towards extra ranks on your season pass, and there's 10 ranks that you can achieve. Now once you've earned the 10 ranks and you've claimed them, these 10 ranks will reset and you can keep on farming these 10 ranks and getting the rewards over and over until the 2 weeks are up. That's essentially what the Rank Up or Stretch Goals event is. Now, what rewards do you get? Well, there's multiple different caches. You got some standard like optimization caches, recalibration caches. You got an exotic cache there as well that you can get, shade calibration cache, and we've got a crafting material cache. But in between that, you're going to get 4 rank up caches, which has got some special loot inside, which we will discuss in a moment. So you get 1, 2, 3, and 4 during those 10 levels. And once you hit the 10th level, this is new for this season, you get a prestige rank up cache. So it's very similar to the rank up caches, but it's prestige with a lot more value. So that's essentially how this works this season. It's the same again, just keep on farming seasonal levels to keep on getting your rewards over and over until you get all of the items that you're looking for out of these rank up caches, with rank up prestige caches giving you more chance. Now, what is different about this season if we go to the event timeline? You can see the rank up event. We've got 1 week, 6 days left on that. If we go to the tab before though, we do have 1 week and 1 day of ×2 season XP. Now they've done this the last 2 seasons, and the idea of the last 2 seasons was going to be to allow players to get to rank 100 as quick as possible, so that they can also take advantage of the stretch goals. Because on the season pass, you can't farm these until you have completed the initial 100 tracks or 100 stages on the season track. You have to get to 100 first, and then you can take part in the rank up or stretch goals. That's the idea of it. So this ×2 season XP event initially was to allow people to get there faster so that they can take part in these stretch goals before they ended. However, this time around, this ×2 season XP event is going to be available to people that are in the stretch goals as well, which means if you get on this week, you can have 2 times season XP to work towards your stretch goals, which means you're going to be unlocking these caches faster than ever before. So make sure you get on this week to take advantage of that 2 times season XP, because I think you can only get 100, is it 100 levels with it? If we go back inside of it, yeah, you can get 100 levels of season levels before this ×2 multiplier runs out. But that's a lot of levels. If you were to get 100 of them, then you're going to be opening 100 caches from this stretch goals, which is insane, on top of the other 100 you get because it's double XP, right? You'll be opening 100 more. So yeah, it's well worth jumping on now to do it. But even once the ×2 season XP event is over, you still have a week after that to keep on grinding these caches out if you're still wanting more rewards. And we will go over them in a few moments. One other thing that's worth mentioning, if we come out and go to the map menu, is the seasonal manhunt. If you're just coming back to the game and you haven't really took part in this season, then this season's scout missions are going to give you a ton of season XP. This will all be ×2 right now as well for the first week, and you can complete each of these scout missions to get a hold of a lot of season XP, and it'll probably be the fastest way to gain season XP if you haven't done these. In fact, this season what the division did was they made it so you had to activate the scout before you could complete it, which enabled players to go through the whole season without activating any of these, so that they can now activate them now as part of the stretch goals to get this XP during this period. It's a super good XP farm along with this ×2 XP event, and you're going to get a lot of reward from it if you save these, or if you're just coming back to the game now to take part in this event and you want to get some quick XP. Other quick XP will be projects. There's going to be some projects in your projects menu, like the weekly shade requisition, which is going to give a good amount of XP for you. You've got your weekly legendary that you can do, your weekly summit if you want to, weekly descent. Have a look at the projects. If there's anything that you want to tick off to get extra season XP here, these are very, very rewarding. But besides that, your next best way of getting season XP, I'd say the best way for once you've done all that, is priority objectives. Now, there's a way you can do these to make them as efficient as possible, but what I advise to do is just keep on focusing on strongholds or anything that gives you the most amount of seasonal XP, like that mission there, 613. That's a good one to do. 932 for that stronghold. It might be the zoo, so that's going to be a long one. 613 might be a little bit more efficient there, but basically focus missions, focus strongholds. Make sure you've got your modifiers active. As long as you own the season pass and you have the modifiers active, you get a 20% boost on this XP. That's on top of then the double XP for this week as well. And then when you play the mission, you kind of get a double whammy. So for example, let me show you this. If I was to do the stronghold and we decrypt this stronghold, it wants me to go and do District Union Arena. I'm going to get 932 season XP for that. But then when I go over to District Union Arena itself, every mission does have like a season XP bonus on it. So if we set up this mission and we put it on heroic, that is going to give me 1,329 season XP plus 20%. And depending on what difficulty I play on will depend on how much season XP that's going to give me. And that's on top of the priority objective XP as well. So you're going to get a ton of XP by doing priority objectives, so just focusing on missions and strongholds. And that's probably the best way to farm this event. So, the rewards. I couldn't get on their website today. They did have a website article, but Ubisoft seems to be down right now. They did release some patch notes, though, and I believe this is still the information that should be correct. If they, like I said, there's a later article they released. If they've changed anything, this might be a little inaccurate, but I believe this is how it's going to work. So stretch goals rank up season pass extension. It arrives on November 18th, which is today. We're just going to go over the run. So like I said, we got rank up caches and we got prestige rank up caches. So we'll go over the rank up cache contents first and explain exactly how this works. Now, every rank up cache you open is going to have a 50% chance to get you the new exclusive vanity items for this stretch goals event. It comes with a Tom Sargent outfit, which is 8 pieces. There's 4 arm patches and there's 2 weapon skins. So 14 items in total you can get out of these rank up caches and the prestige rank up caches, and you keep on getting these until these are done. So this pool will always be active, but once you've got everything, this pool is removed. And on the standard rank up caches, you have 50% chance of getting one of these pieces every single rank up cache that you open. Now if we go down to the prestige rank up cache contents, it's 100% chance per cache. So when you open that, if you still need some of these items, you're going to be guaranteed one. So you should be able to get the vanity items out of the way pretty quickly. It shouldn't be too hard of a farm to get that. But along with the vanity outfit, we do have some other loopholes every single time you open up a rank up cache. One of them is the rare named items. This is where you can get the Lexington. Every rank up cache that you open, you got a 10% chance of an item from this pool dropping. And then once an item from this pool drops, there's then a chance to get different items in this pool. Now everything's 5% except the Lexington, because that is highly sought after. So if you do get a 10% drop on the rare named item, the odds are a Lexington will drop. But you can also get Turmoil, Caretaker, Shield Splinterer, Hunter Killer, Huntsman, First Sight, all the seasonal weapons there as well that you'd find on a Loot Goblin. So remember, 10% chance for that pool, but once you've hit that pool, they're the chances of those weapons once you hit it. Now, if you're opening a prestige rank up cache contents, this is where it's changed this season. Every time you open up a prestige cache, you get 100% drop in this pool every time. So every 10 levels, you're definitely going to get one of these items. However, the Lexington isn't boosted this time. It's 12.5% and some items have been removed. So on the prestige cache, you're guaranteed either a Lexington, Turmoil, Caretaker, Shield Splinterer, Huntsman, Handbasket, Harvest, or Chill Out. Definitely going to get one of those every prestige cache. And then the other loot pools that are available, So we've done the rare named items. We now move on to seasonal and special exotics. So these are items from this season that we're currently on. Shroud, Overdogs, Nemesis, Liberty, Chatterbox, Dodge City Gunslinger's Holster, and Ridgeway's Prize. Just mixed in with a few old ones there. It says seasonal and special exotics. This also has a 10% drop chance with each rank up cache. If you hit that pool, you're guaranteed one of those items. And then in the prestige cache, it's a 25% drop chance with each cache. So it's a boosted chance, and it looks like potentially there's something else in there, 14.2%, whereas on the other, yeah, it's exactly the same items, sorry. So in the prestige version of the seasonal and special exotics loot pool, it's the same items, you just get 25% chance of hitting that pool. And then finally, the exclusive exotics. So in the rank up cache, the exclusive exotics have a 0.5% drop chance with each of those caches, which is very, very low, by the way. But if you hit that pool, you are definitely going to get either a Regulus, an Eagle Bearer, a Ravenous, a Bighorn, an Ouroboros, a Provocateur, Birdie's Quick Fix, or a Tinkerer. They are in that pool. Every time you open one of the rank up caches, you got a chance of getting that at 0.5%. However, on the prestige rank cache, it is increased a little bit. You are going to get a 2.5% drop chance. Still low, but better than 0.5, right? And again, so prestige rank up caches is going to be 2.5%. And then if you hit that pool, you're guaranteed either a Regulus, Eagle Bearer, Ravenous, Bighorn, Ouroboros, Provocateur, Birdie's Quick Fix, or a Tinkerer. And that's exactly how those caches work. All of these pools are open every single time that you open a cache, which means you could open a rank up cache, you could get a vanity item, you could get a Lexington, you could potentially also get one of these exotics here from this season or the special ones, and you could get an Eagle Bearer on top of that. Like, you know, that's not going to happen. The odds of that are next to none. But they are, every single time you open a cache, you've got chance to hit each of these pools based on that 50%, that 10%, that 10% there, and the 0.5. And the prestige one gives you even more chance. You got a definite vanity item until they run out. Every single time you open one of these, you'll definitely get one of the rare named items, and you got the 25% chance of a seasonal or special exotic and 2.5 of an exclusive exotic. And that is this season's stretch goals, or newly named ranked up event. I hope that's explained everything. If you had any questions, get farming right now. Looks like it's going to be much easier this season for people to get a hold of the Terminal knee pads or the Lexington if they want them, and even some raid exotics potentially. Let me know in the video comments what you get during this stretch goals event, and good luck on your grind. Enjoy your grind, have fun. That's the end of the video. Don't forget to like the video, comment down below, subscribe for more content, and until the next one, take care.